It's time to bring a little Mississippi to New York City. I've got this Mississippi mud pie, and we're going to be going up north where people are living out in the cold and they're away from good vegetables, and they are in search of the deep south, and we're going to bring it to them. We've got Simmons catfish, we've got hush puppies, and we have got McAlister's sweet tea that they never get. We're also going to be with, guess who? Elvis Presley. So stick around, we'll be right with you.
Thoughts keep running through my head as I walk this road with nothing ahead. The sun beams down on my face as I walk this road that leads to amazing grace.
Award-winning, quality, experience. Glass Incorporated's expert team can handle single window panes to entire high-rise buildings. Whether you need storefronts, glass replacement, mirrors, or shower enclosures, no job is too big or too small. Glass Incorporated, your commercial and residential glass experts. Locations in Meridian, Foley, Alabama, and the Mississippi Gulf Coast.
Coming up next on The Road in Between.
John O'Neill Johnson Toyota has been serving customers for over 20 years with integrity, honesty, and value. We want to thank you, our customers, for helping us win so many awards. Now we're #1 in Gulf States Toyota for market share 2 years in a row. Multiple winner of Toyota's President Award and 6-time Gold Dealer recognition. And the reason is simple. Customer satisfaction is our #1 priority.
John O'Neill Johnson, a name you can trust. Toyota, a product you can depend on.
New York City, Big Apple, here we come. We are ready to go on the road in between. You've been doing this at this picnic for how many years?
26 years.
26 years as a coordinator.
That's right.
How about that? Well, tell us, what was it like to start it and where is it now?
Well, I worked with Mississippi Development Authority, and then I started working through the state agency helping coordinate the picnic with Rachel McPherson. Rachel is one of the founders of the picnic, and so she and I started working together to put this together to promote tourism, business recruitment for the state, and so each year it's just grown and grown, and last year we had 5,000 people. So a day like today, a beautiful day in Central Park, there's no telling where we're going. But anyway, we always have Simmons farm-raised catfish. That's a big draw. We want to promote Mississippi while we're here, and we've got Elvis' 80th birthday, so we're going to have Elvis music playing. We have a lot of people that come up from Mississippi for the day, but it's a good day to market the state because people that are just walking through the Central Park will stop by just to see what's going on, and it's just a good day to promote Mississippi.
It really is. And you are one of the founders of this picnic.
Yes.
What's it like?
It feels fabulous because I love Mississippi so much, and back then when I was one of the founders, Mississippi didn't have a great reputation coming out of the 60s and all the civil rights movement, and I was really behind trying to work on our image and let other people, especially in the North, know all about the great things about Mississippi.
Tell her none you don't want no, just always seen it once you go. 'Cause she's my little rumor gal, my little rumor gal. She's my little rumor gal, my little rumor gal.
New York City Slickers right here in Central Park. I'm honored to be with you on the road in between.
Thank you. It's great to be here. We're really excited.
Well, tell us about your band and influence you've made and how you love coming here to the picnic.
Well, actually, Phaser and all of us do every kind of music possible. We all trained classically, opera to jazz to symphonic to what else? Musical theater. And after Oh Brother the film came out, we said, gosh, we want to explore some bluegrass and some gospel. So everybody kind of said, yeah, I want to try that out. And we put the Slickers together in about 2008, and just to have fun. And we're kind of stunned how much people love us and where it's taken us. We actually got back from Norway on a 2-week sold-out tour the end of last year. Just got back from Mississippi, Jackson, doing the Bluegrass Mass, which you'd love.
Yes.
It's 30-minute new work that follows the Mass, but then with all the bluegrass guys' instruments, and the gals do the singing. So anyway, somebody else chime in.
Well, I think one thing in New York is you don't get as much of the combination of like the sort of showy combined with the country, two-step, bluegrass sort of vibe. So we kind of bring something that people don't get a lot of, and so when they see us, they're a little surprised. At first, trying to figure out what to make of it, and then they just have a good time.
And people always say it's hard to stay in your seat when the Slickers are playing.
Anything goes. The world has gone mad today, and good's bad today, and black's white today, and day's night today. Most guys today, the women prize today, are just silly gigolos.
It was kind of a process. I didn't start theater until the end of high school, actually.
Okay. All right.
It had always been something in the back of my mind, but I hadn't really ever done it. I came from like a music background with dance, so theater kind of just happened on accident. And I kept wanting to do it, but I mean, the whole stigma behind it is, what's your backup plan? Or that's kind of a side job. And I went into school first, and I wanted to get a journalism degree, and then I just hated it. And then right when I was in the middle of that, I actually got into a show at Ole Miss. It was a student show, and I felt like, okay, this is what I want to do. And then it's just been slowly building up to where I minored in theater, and then, you know, I felt like I kind of was resistant to it because of, you know, expectations that are put upon by society. But every time I was insecure about it, I just felt like it was a sign from God, honestly. It was like, this is what you're supposed to do.
There you go.
So.
Stick around, we'll be right back.
A lot of people have helped get me here. My sisters always had my back. My buddies, Sonny and Sean. The crew, pushing me to be faster. Amy, reminding me to enjoy the moment. And Nationwide, who I've personally been with for 25 years. It's never been just me out there. Nationwide is on your side.
Coming up next on The Road in Between.
Harvest Grill, where great food and gatherings happen in the heart of downtown Meridian. Open for lunch and dinner, Tuesday through Saturday. Come dine with us and experience traditional recipes with a fresh, surprising new flavor. Visit harvestgrillms.com to view our menu and hours.
Welcome back to The Road in Between.
They knew they wanted, you know, an iconic Elvis image on the stage. And my vision for it was, I looked at a lot of different concert imagery from different concerts that happened in the park. Elvis actually never played the park, but he did play Madison Square Garden. But with the event being in the park, you know, Elvis was so big, so large. I wanted it to somehow come across as bigger than the park, bigger than the city. This image was from the original 1956 concert in Tupelo. It's the exact pose, it's the exact fans. I love the camera angle because it made him so big. So that's where I started. Dropped the park in the background and in the skyline, and tried to keep the scale of the skyline.
I bet that was tough.
Yeah, tried to keep it small enough to where Elvis still kind of overpowered it.
Yeah. Well, everybody's been talking about your cakes. Tell us about how your vision started with your company and kind of where it is now.
Sure. I was an accidental entrepreneur, I suppose. I found myself in between pharmaceutical sales jobs. It wasn't a great fit for me, apparently. So I started baking on the side. I'm in between those pharmaceutical sales jobs and just baked from home for 4 years until I had enough business to open a downtown retail storefront in New Albany.
Well, that in-between time between pharmaceutical jobs and what you're doing now, who would have thought? And now you're not only serving this picnic, but you're also in Madison's garden.
Right. So we've been here 4 years in a row, but this is our first year to be at another event on the same day in New York, which is kind of cool.
And now you go from here to there.
Right. I'll go back over there, back and forth today. But
Wow.
that's the New York Big Apple Barbecue Block Party, and they're pit masters from around the country, largely from the South, right?
Yes.
All over the park there today, serving their barbecue.
Okay.
I feel like the music business chooses you, in a way. I always had a love for music, but I was very shy, and to think that I would have ever got up on stage in front of anybody, if you'd have told me that I was going to be doing this when I was, 10 years old, I would have said no way. And I can't really explain why I thought I could do it. I was on vacation with my family and my grandparents and my parents, and we saw a guy doing an Elvis tribute, and people started telling me they thought I looked like Elvis, and it just popped into my head, well, I could do that, and I said that out loud. And my whole family just kind of laughed because they knew how shy I was.
Right.
And still to this day, I don't know what put that thought in my head. Well, I know what put the thought in my head.
Right, the whisper.
Absolutely.
You got the whisper.
So I just feel like after that point, I started to kind of try it here and there, and I was in high school still, and it just started to snowball. And before I knew it, it wasn't like I ever said, this is what I'm setting out to do. It just happened.
It just happened. Yep.
And I feel like it's been that way in this business all the way through, because it's a tough business. It's the music industry has its ups and downs, but I guess I can say this, but I'm going to anyway. I mean, God is always taking care of me, and that's the only way I can explain it. It's been every time one thing is coming to an end, something else picks up, and
that's right. That's the way it works. A dead end is actually a turnaround sometimes.
That's right.
And when you have you found your identity beyond Elvis? Like, part of you probably says, look, let me play some of my music.
Sure. Yeah, I've always looked at this as from the viewpoint of an actor. So I'm on stage and I'm playing a character, and I want to do things that I know that character did. I mean, it's different than some character that somebody thinks of. You actually know who this person was, so you have something to go off of, something that people expect to see in certain cases. But at the same time, you don't want it to be fake. It has to be genuine, it has to be natural, and that makes it real. And so I just tried to watch as much of it as I listened to Elvis as much as I could, and kind of just put everything in there. And then when I'm on stage, I forget about it. I just want to go out and have fun and let it happen.
It comes across that way.
Thank you.
It's not pretense. And there's a little piece of you in that people are looking for too.
I hope that comes through. I think it's important to have just a little bit of yourself, again, because that makes it real. So outside of that, when I come off stage, I enjoy being myself. I've got a wife and 4 kids now, and I enjoy being Brandon Bennett. And Brandon Bennett grew up loving country music, and was a big Garth Brooks fan. I love Merle Haggard and Conway Twitty, and you go down that list. And so when I sing things outside of Elvis, that's what I go towards, is country music.
Good. Well, we got Jimmy Rogers playing in the background. And,
absolutely. Perfect.
And Britt Gully's from Meridian, which is where we live.
Right.
And, he's following Elvis and that whole sense of Mississippi roots, and you being from Louisiana and that southern genre, deep part of the roots of who we are, Southerners.
Totally.
It's good storytelling.
Absolutely. And I said on stage tonight, I am from Louisiana, but I've kind of adopted myself as a son of Mississippi. I love Mississippi so much, and Mississippi has been so good to me. And the hospitality, true Southern hospitality.
Right. Have you been on Jimmy Fallon yet, or?
I haven't been on Jimmy Fallon. I've been on David Letterman. I was on David Letterman a while back.
Right, I remember that. Yep. Yeah, it was good.
It's a lot of fun.
Well, thank you for being on the road in between, Brandon Bennett.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
You got it. Stick around. We'll be right back.
What's in a letter? If you're Mitchell Signs and Imprints, one letter means everything, and it's in the name. Mississippi Meridian. Mitchell Signs, Imprints. Two companies that help you reach your clients, whether it's big or small. And just like the name says, Mitchell Signs and Imprints are local. Meridian people, Mississippi pride. From quality signs to the perfect promotional product, see why Mitchell Signs and Imprints have been earning Mississippi's trust for more than 100 years. Check them out on Facebook for special deals and more information.
Coming up next on The Road in Between.
Modern Outfitters, all things firearms, including premium outdoor brands for all outdoor enthusiasts and firearm collectors. Full-service custom shop, state-of-the-art indoor shooting facilities, training and consultation, custom coatings and finishes, including Cerakote and Hydrofilm, specialized optics, suppression, and thermal imaging systems, premium gear, custom firearm systems, tailor-fit to your specific needs. That's Modern Outfitters. Find us on Facebook and modernoutfitters.com for more info and events.
Welcome back to The Road in Between. All right, we're here with Second Chances. Dickie, thank you for being on The Road in Between.
Thank you, Tom. Honored to be on your show. This is great. What a beautiful day for Mississippi in the park.
It really is. And Caddy, thank you.
Thank you. Glad to see you.
Yes, well, the two of you, y'all came from different cities and you intertwined. And tell us a little bit about that Brookhaven and connection.
I was born in Brookhaven and lived there until I was about 12 years old. And her uncle and I were boyhood best friends and still are good friends. And so Caddy's father was born was in the Air Force in Keesler. So Caddy was born in Pascagoula. I was born in Brookhaven, but moved to Pascagoula. Caddy was born in Pascagoula, but moved to Brookhaven.
How about that? Now we're here in Central Park.
So here we are in Central Park.
Well, tell us about Second Chances, because we and The Road in Between, that's what we're all about. It's that journey, that road to redemption and mulligans and grace upon grace, and lessons learned.
Well, this really is about a mulligan, I guess, if you define it in golf terms. But we started Second Chance Mississippi to raise awareness and funds for adult education, principally GED and skill training in Mississippi. Unfortunately, about 500,000 Mississippians, adult Mississippians, have no high school diploma. And that really penalizes Mississippi when industry comes in and is looking for trained or trainable, educated workforce. So we're trying to do something about that. I got involved in GED instruction when I was an inmate in federal prison. I taught GED. And when I got out, I heard a radio broadcast about the statewide program that the community colleges run in Mississippi. And so we've kind of linked up with them. And so Second Chance Mississippi is a collaborative effort with the dedicated people at the community colleges.
Yes. Well, that's the thing about it, is it's hard for them to apply for a job when they can't read. And, it's just a dead end.
It is a dead end.
There.
Well, a GED or a skill certification is a passport to the American mainstream. Keeps people from going to jail, for one thing, but it's not just for people, from a criminal background. This is there are thousands of individual Mississippians around the state that are enrolled in this program, and we're just trying to get some more funding. It's an underappreciated resource in the state, getting people back and giving them a second chance and dropout recovery. And so we're trying to enhance the ability of the state to provide for those people.
Fantastic. Well, Caddy, how did you get involved with this?
Well, Dickie reached out to me, and I was so grateful he did, because it is a passion of his, and it's easy to feel that passion as well. And we encourage everybody to come to our website, secondchancems.com, and learn more about what we're doing, how they can help and give back to our state.
Fantastic. Second Chances seems to be everybody's story. Third chance, fourth, ongoing. It just keeps going and going.
As long as you're willing to try.
That's right.
As long as you're willing to try.
That's right. And so I'm so thankful to meet you here, of all places. Had to come to New York to meet you, but I've been following it with your new beginnings of this, and I just love the stories of redemption. That's what it's all about, and life lessons. And I think it's best when it comes from those of us who've had bumps in the road, so that we can say, hey man, we are here to support you and be part of that. Now, when you were in federal prison, though, when you were talking about helping people with GRE, all I can think about is Shawshank Redemption, you know. And I think about how that main actor really did help the, you know.
He did. He
used his education.
He did.
To help
Well,
others.
it gave me a sense of purpose to be able to teach, and particularly when they started catching on, and it made a difference in their lives. The inmates who completed the program, and a lot of them had to really struggle to do it, had a whole new look on life. They could get out, show that they've accomplished something, and it just gave them a lot more confidence when they got out. So that was very gratifying to me to help impart that to those guys.
Right. I wonder if they want to stay in touch with you after it.
Some have. Some have. And it's there. They thank me for the help, but that was my job in prison, and it became a labor of love after a while.
You know, the road in between is from Acts 8, 26 to 40, and it's about God telling Philip to get up and go on the road in between. He doesn't know where he's going, why he's there, and he meets somebody who's in the gaps, physically, spiritually, and socially. And that really is your story. It's coming alongside of somebody else, a lot of times one-on-one, to offer hope.
Well, we're certainly trying to do that and make it possible for people who truly want to get back into the workforce and the mainstream to find a way to do it. That's our mission.
You know, it'd be fun is if, as you get this going, to bring a group up who've made it, bring them up here to Central Park and be under this tent and tell their story.
Maybe we'll do that next summer.
That would be good.
That's a good idea.
That's a good idea.
That's a good idea, Tom.
We're going to steal it from you.
Steal it.
Yeah. All right.
So this is genuine Mississippi catfish?
Oh, everything, yeah.
Oh, really?
Sweet tea, the catfish, the hush puppies. Get ready.
Puppies from Mississippi.
Yes. You ever had a hush puppy?
Wow.
Have you ever I'm glad I came. No, I'm glad I came from Poland. All my life, I was waiting.
You've been missing
taste some hush puppies.
That's right. That's right. Well, we're glad you're here. What's the benefit of coming up here to Central Park?
Well, we use this week, we come up and we talk to a lot of businesses during the week and the consultants, and because we're into economic development, bringing jobs into Mississippi. But then on Saturday is the culmination of the whole thing when we open up to anybody that has ever lived in Mississippi, passed through Mississippi, wants to come to Mississippi, or just wants to come and be with us here at the Central Park location. And we get to showcase Mississippi to all the New York residents.
Brandon was our first tribute competition winner in 2007, so he's like hometown folks for us.
And now he's worldwide.
He is. He's doing the $1 Million Quartet in Chicago, and he was at our festival last weekend as one of the headliners. So he's a great tribute artist and does a wonderful job.
Well, my goodness, everybody is coming for the sweet tea, for the fried catfish, and for Sugary's caramel cake. So we'll start getting cooked up in just a few minutes, and the great smell of our southern fried catfish will start attracting thousands of people. Actually, they'll come to the park. This year we're celebrating Elvis in the park. That's our theme. We have Elvis here, and it's his 80th birthday. So long live the king. So we will actually have a tribute artist here, Brandon Bennett, one of the best tribute artists I've ever seen for Elvis. So he's going to get this place rocking, and we're really excited about it. So you will have the sights, the sounds, the tastes, the smells of Mississippi.
Fantastic.
Well, it's a great opportunity for the state of Mississippi. We're the only state actually in the union that does this, has a picnic like this. It's just a great way for us to outreach, tell our story, meet people. I think a lot of New Yorkers have a misperception about who we are and our history and such. And so it's a great opportunity for us to come to the Big Apple, to get a little exposure to what's going on here in this great city, and also to tell our story. This year we're talking about Elvis and Jimmy Rogers and some of the really important cultural pieces that Mississippi brings to the table. We talk about civil rights struggle, we talk about the Civil War, we talk about music and literature and architecture and all those things. Those are American stories, and a lot of that, a lot of the chapters in those American stories were told in Mississippi. And so we like to reach out and to tell that story everywhere we go, and particularly here in Central Park.
Well, we're good storytellers from Mississippi.
That's right. I say we're 2.9 million storytellers.
Exactly right.
You have to talk them if it's sweet or unsweet, and we're always like, oh, it's definitely sweet. You need to go sweet. And it's an introduction, but they like it. But you know what? They have other people around that have been here for years, and they're just explaining the awesomeness of the tea. You know, it is part of the South, and we're glad to have it up here.
All these people were so busy, subways and cabs, and for them to have this Central Park, it's got to be just good for their souls, I would think.
It really is. Just something about getting away from the hubbub and the rush of life, just to be able to relax, spend time with your family or a loved one, and just refresh and renew. And so hopefully McAlisters can be a little part of that today.
I think so. We need a front porch.
There we go. Rocking chairs.
Yeah, rocking
Now
chairs.
you're talking.
Mississippi is being highlighted all day, and the purpose of this is to increase MDA's ability to attract industry into the state of Mississippi, as well as to highlight the things that we are noted for, like our musical legacy in Meridian and Jimmy Rogers.
Yes. Well, I know, Kelly, you're a big part of that with Scott, and you'll travel around all over the place.
We do, and we love the opportunity to get outside of Meridian and go and share his music and music that you can hear in Meridian, and always promote our area.
I'm here with David Dagenot in Central Park, and I had no idea when we got here that I would run into you and your family. We were together back in Madison, Mississippi.
Yeah.
I was your pastor when you were a little guy.
Yeah, I was about 12 years old.
Man, that's amazing. And now you're how old?
28.
And now you're doing websites?
Yeah.
Here?
Yeah, I work for a company in Times Square, and I build websites for them. We do work for some publishing companies. Yeah, it's really exciting work. It's great, yeah.
Very good. Well, you come out to Central Park a lot, or do you?
No, I live over in Brooklyn. It's just across the river. So I have a park over there, but this is actually the first time I've made it out to Central Park this summer, but the weather is perfect. It's a beautiful day.
Beautiful day. We're here with Mississippi people, getting reconnected.
I had some sweet tea for the first time in I don't know how long. It was delicious.
Delicious. What would you suggest for people who are young, graduating from college, thinking about coming to New York City? What would you say to them?
Don't be scared. Do it. Trust your gut, and don't let fear dictate your path.
I'm with you on that. We live between faith and fear. Claim the faith. That's right. Well, it's been great to be your pastor, great to be your friend through life, and to connect right here is phenomenal.
It was so good seeing you again.
Good to see you. Thank you, David.
Thank you.
God bless you.
You too.
All right.
Stick around. We'll be right back.
In today's world where most businesses and corporations' main mission is to simply make profit, CRM Companies differs itself by focusing on being successful in a way that also promotes growth and prosperity in the community. CRM Companies isn't simply a commercial development and management company. They create opportunities, they create jobs, they maximize the potential for growth and development of a better community, all while still providing great services and outstanding customer relations. Learn more about CRM Companies and their mission today. Visit crmco.com.
Welcome back to The Road in Between. It's been a great show up here in New York City in Central Park. I'm so thankful to so many who made this possible, in particular Alexis Brown. I was her pastor in Madison years ago. It's so good to reunite with her and all of her friends that started the Mississippi Picnic in New York City. I hope you've been blessed today and know that you too have a purpose and that God can use your vocation, your place, for His glory. So as you go forth from here, know that you go nowhere by accident. Wherever you go, God is sending you. God has a purpose in your being there, and He's given His Holy Spirit to you. We'll see you next time on The Road in Between. The Road in Between is made possible thanks to these sponsors: John O'Neill Johnson Motor Companies, Glass Incorporated, CRM Companies, Archer Architecture, Benchwarmer Grill, Benefits Management Group, Bright FX, Construction Services Incorporated, Cooper Concrete, Harvest Grill, Marcello Cranes, Mitchell Signs and Imprints, Modern Outfitters, Mississippi Beverage and Water, Nationwide Insurance with Richard Davis, Woodstock Furniture.
running through my head as I walk this road with nothing ahead. The sun beams down on my face as I walk this road that leads to amazing grace.